Okay, so this is Gemini, and there is an AI agent feature hidden somewhere on this platform. Now, this is not exactly a new feature. This is something that I have talked about on my channel many times in the past, but now they got a new update that will make the process of creating your own workflow to be simpler, and also the AI agent is a lot smarter. So if you want to access this new AI agent on Gemini, you can navigate to the desktop version of Gemini, desktop web version of Gemini, and you can open the sidebar, go to gems, and you'll see that there are two types of gems available on Gemini. There is the classic gem, but there is also the new version of gems. At the moment, they call it gems made by labs. So this is the new gems, but the older gem is also still available. So that is the reason why Google is not exactly announcing this feature officially, because it is still in the experimental phase and there are a few things that will change in the future. But at the moment, they have a new update to this version of Gem, or also known as Google Opal. So yeah, this is actually used to be called Google Opal, and then they put that as a gem on Gemini. That's why in this video, I guess sometimes I'll call it Google Opal, sometimes I'll call it gems, but I just want to let you know that I'm referring to the same thing. So basically here in the new gem or Google Opal, they got a new node called agent, and this is very interesting. This is essentially an implementation of auto routing. So previously in the normal workflow in Google Opal or in the new gems, if you want to create, let's say, an app that can build an image, then you have to use the image generation node. Like in this case, I have this enrich image description, and I'm using the Gemini 2.5 Plus model. And then for the image generation, I'm using the Imagen 4 model, although I can also use Gemini and Nano Banana. But basically, there are many possible gems, many AI tools that are being used in one workflow. But with the agent node, it simplifies everything, because this AI agent can choose whether the request will be processed for image generation, text generation, audio generation, or even video generation. So in a way, it is going to be a lot smarter. And also, I would imagine that this will make the workflow easier, because if you, let's say, have lots of nodes, then one or a few agent nodes can handle everything, because it can do almost everything. And that's the core idea of this AI agent update in the Google Opal 2.0 version. So this is the main character basically of this new update. Now, the question is, how do you use it? How do you use this new AI agent feature? Well, I guess the best way to explain it is by creating or doing a quick demo. So let me just go back to Gemini, and I'm going to click this new gem button. Remember, click the one that says that has this icon, the glass beaker. I'm going to click this. And basically, you can build your own AI agent workflow using plain English. Just describe it about the goal that you want to accomplish, and of course you can add more details, but basically just use your natural language. Now in this case, let's say I want to, okay, I have plenty of examples that I could try, but let me pick something like, okay, how about this? I want you to build an interactive storytelling app that will ask follow-up questions. Make sure that in your workflow, there is at least one agent node or even multiple agent nodes if needed. Okay, so basically in the prompt, if you want to use this method of building the workflow, make sure that you mention that you want to see the agent node in the workflow. Otherwise, AI might be using the regular nodes. Okay, I'm going to send the message and just wait until it finishes. Now, you can obviously create the workflow manually. It is very similar to make.com or maybe n8n or perhaps a free pick or magnific spaces. Basically the way it works is quite similar. Just drag and drop, and then you can connect one node to another, and you can provide the the prompt if you want to. So if you navigate to opal.google and then creating a new workflow, you will see this interface, and you can provide perhaps the user input and then the AI that will be used, and then you can provide the output. Okay, so yeah, something like that. It's the basic structure: input, generate, output, or in this case, we can turn it into agent, and agent can handle many different formats. So that's basically how you can use it. It is actually way simpler than Comfy UI or other node-based workflow tool, because this is just very simple. That like there are only 1, 2, 3, 4 options that you have. Okay, let me just go back and okay, as you can see, it is very simple. This is the step-by-step. The whole workflow only contain 3 nodes. This is the input, this is the agent interactive story, and then this is the render interactive story web page. That's going to be very interesting. Now, I have never tried this, so this is going to be my first attempt trying to use this workflow. Now, I'm going to click start. Okay, provide the initial premise of your story. The initial premise. Okay, perhaps maybe this one. Okay, there is a guy and he just wakes up, but then he realized that he is in an alternate version of himself. Everything feels different, but also feels familiar at the same time. I believe there are many Hollywood movies with that premise. Okay, so this is the premise. This is the initial of the story. All right, I'm going to send the message, and now it is being processed by the AI agent. So one thing that it offered is the memory feature, which I believe it means that the AI agent can remember the previous input and will consider that on the next output. Now, to be fair, this memory implementation is not exactly obvious. I cannot really understand how it could be useful, and also not to mention this tool is still very experimental, so there are many things that still hidden, and we don't know exactly how we can benefit from that. But anyway, that's just one feature that the agent node is capable of. Okay, so this is very long story. Okay, I'm not going to read any of that, but let me just pick some random option. Let me try. Okay, let's try that, and then it will create the next section of the story. Now I guess I can continue until we will see the final output, or maybe this will keep going without ending. It is also a possibility. Okay, just wait until it finishes. And okay, I guess I'm going to select this and submit. Okay, so I've been answering the question several times, and then it asked me to actually provide the description or the continuation of the story. Okay, let me try. Elias had joined the Unlinked Resistance. They need him to help shut down the Spire's cooling core. What do you tell her? How do you feel about this new alias? Okay, honestly, I haven't read the story. I'll just, fast forward and then answer the questions. But so I have no idea about the whole context. But you know what? So the main character just wakes up again from a dream. So all of that was just a dream. Okay, so I think I can confirm that the progress bar is not progressing, so it's just continuing. It has a no end, I suppose. So I guess the agent node in Google Opal is able to continue a story. It can loop back again and then get more input and then loop back again. Okay, so all right, it never continues. It's just creating more and more section of the story. Now, if you click Open Advanced Editor, you'll see the interface similar to Google Opal. And by the way, perhaps if you never do this, it's going to ask you to log in with your Google account before you can start using this interface in Google Opal. So as you can see, it is very simple. There are only 3 nodes: input, and then AI agent, and then the output, even though in this case, we probably will never see the output given that the story never stops. And of course, if you want to modify anything, you can describe it right here. Or if you want to make some changes manually, then you can click on the node and then you can see on the right side of the screen that there are plenty of settings that you can customize. Now here it is using agent, but if you want to be more precise, you want to specifically only use perhaps the video or image model, then you can select that. But I think the idea of agent is you don't have to worry about what AI model that you should be using. Agent will decide that for you, and I think that's actually a very interesting value proposition. So if you want to see the preview, you can navigate to the preview window and then start testing around the app. And you can also add or change the theme of the interface, although this is not a big thing. This is just a tiny adjustment. And of course, you can share the gem. Perhaps you can share it to your friends or to your coworkers, then they can use the same agent, the same workflow that you have created earlier. Now, this will take forever if I have to show you all the possibilities that you can do with the new agentic node in Google Opal or the new version of Gemini's gem. But I suppose you can mess around with this tool and see what it can do and how it will be beneficial compared to the normal AI node where you have select the AI model depending on the context. So this is an amazing feature, and I cannot wait for Google's Gemini to eventually make this feature official. Perhaps they need to polish a few things here and there to make it easier to use and more consistent. And also I hope it's going to be a great replacement or perhaps addition to the current state of the gem feature on Gemini. But anyway, I hope you learned something from this video, and if you want to see other cool things that you can do with AI, you can subscribe to this channel, and perhaps you can also check out this video up here, and I'll see you there.